All right, welcome back into the weekend edition of SNN. I am Eric Wilson, again filling in for Marco Lomano. Let's get right back to your stories. Pope Francis was sent home from the hospital this morning, Saturday, several days after he was admitted for bronchitis. CNN's Delia Gallagher reports.
Pope Francis, leaving Rome's Gemelli Hospital on Saturday, made a surprise stop, got out of his car to thank journalists for their work. I had a chance to ask him how he was feeling. Still alive, he joked. And then I asked him if he had been afraid on Wednesday with his breathing difficulties. He told the story of a man who had told him, well, I didn't see death, but I saw it coming, and it was ugly. The Pope also met with some of the people. This is an entrance to a public hospital here in Rome. He met a couple who had just lost their daughter, Angelica, last night, comforting the mother, praying with them, and also signing the cast of a young boy who had broken his arm, just as he had been doing, as the Vatican told us, inside the hospital, visiting the children's oncology unit there on Friday, handing out Easter eggs and rosaries, and even baptizing a baby boy. So a busy time for Pope Francis, but he's back on his feet. He told us that he will be present at the Palm Sunday Mass in St. Peter's Square on Sunday. We'll be looking all of next week to see how his health is, because he has a lot of events coming up at the Vatican leading up to Easter. Delia Gallagher, Rome.
All right, thank you, Delia. Yes, it is truly a man of faith who walks in it and not only gives of service to others, but makes sure to take care of himself ahead of Holy Week. All right, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis promised more action against Disney while promoting his book in Georgia yesterday. This is in response to news that the outgoing Disney board took action to protect the entertainment company's interest for years to come. The Walt Disney Company quietly pushed through the pact and restrictive covenants ahead of an inspected state takeover, tying the hands of the board for years to come. Now, the governor downplayed the defeat as he channeled a little Bachman-Turner overdrive.
My job is not to kowtow to some woke corporation in Burbank, California. My job's to stand up for the children of my state. There's a lot of little back and forth going on now with the state taking control, but rest assured, you ain't seen nothing yet. There's more to come in that regard.
Now, of course, this battle stems from a Florida law limiting the instruction of sexual orientation and gender identity in schools. DeSantis moved to take control over the land surrounding Disney's resorts in Florida away from the company. And at least 9 people in 3 states have died after severe storms and tornadoes moved through parts of the South and Midwest Friday. 5 of those deaths were reported in Arkansas. One of the towns that was struck by a tornado was Little Rock, and the mayor told CNN yesterday that the storm went through the western part of the city in, quote, a matter of minutes. Mayor Frank Scott Jr. also says that at least 2,100 residents in the pathway of the tornado were affected and that neighborhoods and commercial businesses were flattened.
Impact is devastating. It just came out of nowhere. Clearly, we know it was coming. Everyone took cover as it relates to the emergency response from that standpoint. But just to see the devastation of the impact of the flattening of homes, the flattening of businesses in a matter of minutes.
Now, the mayor also said he believes that about 30,000 residents were without power, and that as of now, there are no reports of any deaths in Little Rock. Unfortunately, at least 4 deaths have been reported in Wynne, Arkansas, and 1 in the town of North Little Rock. 3 deaths have also been reported in Indiana and 1 in Alabama. All right, well, my apologies to all those who have ever been to my house for a wine dinner. A new study found that drinking moderate amounts of alcohol every day does not, as once thought, protect against death from heart disease, nor does it contribute to a longer life. The study, published Friday in JAMA Network Open, examined existing research on the health and drinking habits of nearly 5 million people. It found that even drinking relatively low levels of alcohol increased the risk of death. That's less than 1 ounce a day for women and about 1.5 ounces per day for men. It's one of the largest studies to debunk the widely held belief that moderate drinking of wine and other alcoholic beverages is good for you. The most recent dietary guideline for Americans recommends that adults limit alcohol intake to 2 drinks or fewer a day, and for men and for women, 1 drink or less, and says even drinking within the recommended limits may increase the overall risk of death. All right, coming up, Leslie London is back with your Suncoast Weather Authority forecast. Stay right here.